think about I've got your back? As I pondered over the theme of this evening, the thing that came to mind over and over again was a verse from the Quran, Surah 49, Ayat 13. I'll paraphrase. O mankind, we have created you from a single soul and made you into nations and tribes so that you may get to know one another, recognize one another. I teach religious education. It's like Sunday school for Ismaili youth. The Shia Imami Ismaili Muslims belong to a Shia branch of Islam. We're a minority within a minority. In common with other Shia Muslims, the Ismailis affirm that after the Prophet's death, Hazrat Ali, who was the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, Hazrat Ali became the first Imam, a spiritual leader of the Muslim community. Ismailis believe that this spiritual leadership continues to date with the present living Imam by lineage through Hazrat Ali. I was brought up in a house where Jews were not seen in the highest regard by some of my family members. Nonetheless, I wanted to build bridges. I wanted to get to know the other, a lesson I teach my students, and possibly make some new friends. So I applied to be a member of last year's NewGround Fellowship. We started the fellowship learning about each other's beliefs, first in separate groups, all Muslims, all Jews, and then all together as a mixed group. We had sessions on understanding the development and the spread of our respective religions, followed by sessions on Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. It wasn't until the second retreat that I realized my place in the group and why I was supposed to be there. The facilitators told us that the second retreat would be a rough one. We would be discussing Israel-Palestine. I thought to myself, how rough could it really be? I didn't know much about the conflict due to my personal dislike of all bad news. And we, as a group, were having a great time. We were getting along and were respectful to one another. The facilitators were right. The retreat brought out a side we hadn't seen yet. Biases a group may have been quiet about previously came out loud and clear. Such as, why do Jews need a country of their own and are willing to fight for it no matter what? Such as, when an Arab kills an innocent Israeli, why does that make them a terrorist? But when an Israeli kills an innocent Arab, it's just the casualty of war. These were just some of the comments that stuck with me as I listened to both sides speak. This wonderful group of people who voluntarily applied for this fellowship to broaden their Islamic and Jewish relations, if they still had these biases, what hope would there be for the people who hadn't encountered the other? After spending another long day discussing the Middle East, I could see that my roommate Sky was a little bit disturbed and disheartened by what was being said. I was really confused and felt helpless. Sky and I had become really good friends at the first retreat. We shared a room together. We stayed up all night, joking and chatting. That evening of the second retreat, we put all jokes on hold and talked about what was bothering us. She said it was too hard to hear some of those comments from the group. She shared her views, I listened. Then I shared my views, she listened. We talked about our cultures and religion. Not wanting to wake anyone else up, we sat on the same tiny bed, whispering to each other stories from our religious texts. She told me that the father of Judaism is Abraham. I explained the same man is the father of Islam, only Muslims call him Ibrahim. She shared a story about how Abraham was told by God to kill his son Isaac, but was stopped by an angel last minute, and Isaac's lineage led to her. I laughed. I told her in Muslim tradition, God told Ibrahim to kill Isaac's brother Ismail, who was the son of Ibrahim and Hajar, and as Jews know as Hagar. Hajar, and as Jews know as Hagar. And there was the same intervention by angels, and Ismail's lineage led to me. Sky was surprised to hear about the similarities in our stories or in our history. We spoke to each other with openness, honesty, and respect. We could see that the love of our respective religion ran deep and proud. I shared things I had learned about the Jews, some good, some bad, some ugly. I admitted a few people in my family had been skeptical about me being in a fellowship with Jews and that they could not be trusted. She told me her friends were similarly wary of her working with Muslims. We agreed that our own experiences proved them all wrong. There are honest and dishonest people, no matter their religion. She told me there's only 15 million Jews in the world, and there's 1.5 billion Muslims. That means there's 100 Muslims for every singular Jew. The numbers are numbers, and there was nothing I could do about that. I reassured her that I understood the feeling of being a minority as an Ismaili Muslim, because there's only about 15 million of us worldwide too. And Ismailis are a minority among the minority of Shia Islam. Although we didn't see eye to eye about everything, we worked to hear and see each other. We spoke in a calm, respectful manner. Neither one of us got defensive when we heard things we disagreed with, and we got really excited when we found commonalities. We stayed up till almost 3 a.m., sitting on the same tiny bed, getting to know one another, getting to understand one another, and getting closer as friends with one another. Despite differences in our DNA, our culture, our ideology, our experience, we have a common origin. We can relate with each other. We can accept every human being as a part of our extended family, whether we connect on bloodline or not. That is in itself a powerful idea, an idea whose time has come in a world that is shrinking every day. In the words of John Lennon's song, Imagine, which, believe it or not, I heard for the first time the other day, and it sounded like the Holy Quran to me. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one.